Hello and welcome to the Carla Knits podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, sometimes crocheting, but always all of the yarny goodness that I love. Today is Friday, May 20th, and this is episode 50. Welcome back to all returning viewers, and if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. So episode 50, this is so exciting. I'm so excited to be back with you guys. It's been 3-ish weeks since I podcast. I looked, my last podcast was April 29th, and I did not intend to be gone this long, but I'll talk about that a little later in the chatter section. But I'm really excited to be here with you all today and to share what I've been working on in the past few weeks. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry and my Etsy shop as cbcraftygirl. And the Etsy shop is where I sell project bags for knitters and crocheters. And we do have a group on Ravelry for this podcast. And currently we have a make-along going on. And it's a Love Your Stash make-along for the entirety of the year. And so the idea is to use yarns in your stash that you had prior to January 1st of this year and make knit or crochet anything you would like. So there is a chatter thread in our group, and there is a finished object thread. Lots of beautiful finished objects and always some fun chatter to check out. So year-long make-along, I draw quarterly prizes. So the next time I draw will be the first podcast in July. So I think that's what I wanted to say about that. This feels a little off since it's been a little while since I've done this. I'm coming to you from Nebraska, and we actually have a fairly cool day today. It's I think the high is supposed to be 71, but we've had some highs in the 90s, so today is a welcome little break from the heat. I guess let's see. I'm here. Let's do this. All right. So 50th episode. So I did want to host a small giveaway just for 50 episodes. I thought that would be fun. So I have one of my small sock sack project bags that I will be giving away. Inside is a cute orangey coral lining with white polka dots, and it's got some little metallic gold hearts in there. So this is a good sock sack size for those sock knitting projects. It could also be good any skein project. Hat knitting would be great. So I'm giving this away. I'm hosting this on YouTube here. So you just need to comment down below on this episode, and just any comment will do. Tell me anything, but I'd love to hear what you are knitting on, or how many whips you have, what you're looking forward to knitting on this summer. Really, anything would be great. And it is open to US residents only, just to keep the shipping costs down for myself. So again, please comment on this episode if you'd like to be entered for a chance to win this sock size bag. All right. Let's see. I have two finished objects today. They are small finished objects. The first you saw last time as a work in progress. This is the Shire dishcloth by the Kitchen Sink Shop. The cotton yarn that I used was Crafter's Closet yarn. This was just a green that I picked up at Dollar General. I liked it for the color. It has the same feel as your peaches and cream or sugar and cream. So, kind of a stiffer cotton, but that is the pattern. And I did go up in needle size. I don't know, it's either a 6 or a 7, and hopefully I have that listed on my Ravelry project page. But the designer calls for knitting the dishcloth on a US 3, and I have done her previous dishcloths on a US 3, but I did go up this time, and it makes knitting with you know, cotton yarn much easier on the hands. So Kitchen Sink Shop, I've shared this before, she is doing a year-long series of dishcloths based on her favorite books. So this was April's, and it is from The Hobbit. So this pattern is called the Shire. So that's finished object number 1. And I will link her information down below. You can get the patterns emailed free to you at the beginning of each month by signing up for her newsletter on Instagram. So that is the first one. And then the second one is May's Dishcloth. And this is based on The Secret Garden, and it's called The Secret Garden Dishcloth. And this is made, I have made another dishcloth this year with this yarn also. This is soft cotton worsted in Pink Dolly colorway. And again, I did go up the needle sizes, several needle sizes on here to make this pattern. And this is a really fun one to work up. And I think the texture is really lovely. And I believe she said in her pattern notes, designed for the curtain of roses that Mary talked about in the book. So I thought that was really sweet. Yeah. So April and May's dishcloths are done. So I am keeping up on those dishcloths. But too small, very small finished objects. I guess because I'm working on some bigger long-term projects now. I just had those two smaller ones. So that brings us into works in progress. And this one hasn't had a whole lot of work on, a little bit, but I will show you. This is Amelia the duck that I am knitting. And this is from Knitted Animal Friends by Louise Crowther. And a really, really sweet book. So the first part, I am making the duck body parts. So I have made the head, the bill, the duck bill, let's see, the main body, the tail, and then this week I have, or this episode I'm showing you, I have made both of the arms for the duck. So these are all knitted flat and will be seamed up. So you can kind of tell that's going to be a hand there. It looks like a little thumb. So I have 2 of the arms done, and then I am working now on leg number 1. So you start with the orange of the pad of the foot, and then I just joined the cream color. So I have 2 legs to make, and then I can seam the whole body together. So hopefully I will get some time to work on this. This has just kind of been put on the back burner. I think right after the last podcast, I cranked the 2 arms out and then kind of put that away and haven't picked it up. But I really need to pick it up because I really want the finished object. And I'm anxious to get to the clothing of the duck, the cute dress. She's got a little purse there. And then I bought extra yarn to make some other outfits, or one other outfit, and I think a sweater for her. So I'm telling myself, though, you've got to get the duck done first and put together before you make the clothes. I figured that was going to keep me on track to get that duck body done. So, and there is a new book out by this, I was going to say author. I guess she's an author too because she has a book, but the pattern designer is probably a better word, better term. She also has a second book out that came out this month, and it's another book of animals. And I think there's zoo animals, if I remember. I don't have that book, but it looks really, really cute. So really fun if you enjoy stuffed animals or making small projects, or have some young ones in your life that you'd like to make these for. Really cute, really cute. All right, my next my next work in progress is, I guess I didn't show that last bag, but this is the bag that is housing my sweater. This was by Darcy of Chit Chat Knits. This sweet bag. This is really a nice size for my sweater. So she gave this to me as a prize for one of her knit-alongs that she hosted. And so I have my Directo in here, and here is the progress on this. So the last time I podcast, I was up here. I was just about ready to divide for the sleeves. So I have divided for the sleeves. Oops, I don't want to lose stitches. I have divided for the sleeves, and you can see I have put quite a few inches into this. So this is Directo by Allison Green, and the yarn that I am using is Barocco Remix Light in the Pool colorway, and it's classified as a DK weight yarn, but I would say, you know, the yardage on here is 400 some yards per skein. So I would classify it more as a fingering, heavy fingering, sport weight yarn at best. So it is a little bit slow going. I feel like I'm going to be in a sea of stockinette for a long time because it does have a fairly long body following the sleeve divide. I believe it's 14 or 14 and a half inches. So I do have a ways to go, but I'm really enjoying this. This is really good for just mindless knitting when I am watching TV, or I've had it with me at a couple appointments. So really, really nice to knit on. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. I'm anxious to have it as a finished object, but I just have to be patient with it and just enjoy the process. Yeah. All right. So I have two more works in progress to show you, and these are both new cast-ons. And they are not socks. I know last time I shared my finished pair of Obata socks, and I was really wondering about casting on a pair of socks, but I wanted to have clear needles for summer sock camp, you know, hosted by Katie, the crazy sock lady. And so, you know, lots of people commented on the last episode, which was really fun seeing all of your comments. You know, some of you suggested DK weight pair of socks, just go for it. Some of you suggested, oh, you know, hold off, you'll be more excited when summer sock camp starts. So I really debated. I really wanted to cast on socks, but ultimately I thought, you know, I am going to be really excited when summer sock camp starts to cast on some socks. So I do not currently have any socks on my needles. And it's May 20th, so 8 more days till May 28th when summer sock camp starts, and I will really be excited to cast on a pair of socks then. And I guess I will it'll be another couple weeks till I podcast, so we'll see what socks I cast on. I've been thinking about lots of these different yarns here. And of course, I just want to make a million pair of socks with all the yarns, but realistically, I know I can't, I can't do that. So I'm going to have to limit it a little bit. So I'll be excited to share those on the next episode, what socks I get to casting on. So are you guys looking forward to summer sock camp? If you're sock knitters, and are your needles clear? Or are you just going to go for it and you still have some socks on the needles? It's just really fun. So I am looking forward to summer sock camp. But back to my works in progress. So the next work in progress, like I said, these are going to be 2 new ones. And I have this in one of my bags. So this is one that I kept for myself. I just loved the pink sheep fabric. You know, I love pink. If you've been with me for a while, you know how much I love the color pink. So this actually fits a lot. I have 3 skeins of yarn in here and my project, and I could fit plenty more. There are some of these bags in the shop if you are interested. It's the large size, so it has a pocket inside as well. But in here is the Flutter wrap by Tiff Nealon. I had shared last time that that was kind of in my upcoming knitting or dream knitting. So I cast this on, and it's in her description, it was something like, you know, just a really cozy, what did she say about this? I'm just looking. A comfy, cozy and comforting, like a well-loved blanket. So it is very, very soft, and it has a really fun texture. It uses mohair, and it also uses slub yarn, which is this yarn that has those funky little bumps in it, which are really fun. I was trying to do this mostly from stash, and I had 1 skein of slub yarn. So I needed two slub yarns, and I needed the same color mohair. Well, the only mohair that I had with more than one was this peachy color. This is by, let's see, You Knit, I Dye, and this is You Make Me Blush. That's the color. And so it is held with this slub yarn by Hawari Bazaar in the Crazy Plant Lady colorway. And this is what it looks like together. And while I do really like the peachy colorway, I think I probably would have enjoyed putting a green or a bear mohair with it, maybe better. We'll see. But I was trying to go with stash. So this is what I have done so far. This will be my next colorway after I complete this section of the shawl, and it alternates with, you know, eyelets and some garter ridges and stockinette. It's a very easy pattern to follow. I believe it's a 12 row repeat. So I do have to think a little bit on this. So I will be putting this also with, you know, with this mohair. And I kind of debated, well, should I get a different mohair for the second half of the shawl? I'm like, well, you've got this mohair, just use it. So that's what I'm going with. So this one coming up, not yet though, I still have quite a bit on this first part of the shawl. This is by Dye Lot Studio, and this is called Peas and Carrots, which I think is a really perfect name for this yarn. Yeah, so I think the peach will look nice with those rusty orangey colors on here. I'm just not sure how well this goes with the green, but I guess it just kind of softens it a little bit. But I'm really enjoying the pattern. I was awake one morning at 5, and I guess I wasn't paying really good attention to the pattern, and I started knitting a row, but I was doing the right side on the wrong side or vice versa, and I really messed up. So I pulled out about 3 rows, I think, which was not fun. Mohair itself, you know, sticks to yarn, but then you have that slub yarn, and so those little nubbins or whatever you want to call them, they get kind of stuck in the stitches too. So that was not the best. So I really do need to concentrate when I'm doing this to make sure at least that I'm on the right row, that I know which side I'm on. So that's simply what this marker is notating, that this is the right side of the shawl. And this was a cute little progress keeper that came in a sock set last Halloween from Night Owl Fibers. A cute little, probably a pumpkin spice latte, just really cute. It was orange, so I thought I had to kind of match that up together. So that is my progress on that shawl, and I really do love the texture of the mohair and the slub yarn together. I think, you know, when she says a cozy, well-loved or well-worn blanket, it is going to just feel so cozy to have later this fall. So definitely not in the summertime, but it's okay. So I'm thinking, you know, my shawl project and then the next project I'm going to show you are things that I am certainly not going to use probably till late fall, winter time, when things turn, you know, much cooler here. So if those take a back seat when summer sock camp happens, that's totally okay. So my next project, my next work in progress is another brand new cast on. And I do want to show you the bag this is living in. This is one that I made with some fabric. I only had a half a yard of the fabric that I got a long time ago back in Michigan. So unfortunately, no, I can't have this in the shop, but I just thought the fabric was so pretty. Flowers and jewels. And then the inside has, it kind of looks like sparkles, but it's not a sparkle. It's not a sparkle texture, but it kind of looks like sparkles. So, yep. So my project is in here. I really like that bag. So I've been doing a little bit of sewing. Excuse me. But the project that I am doing, let me find the front, is this. I am doing the City Limits sweater by Tanis Fiber Arts. And that is the progress that I have been making. So I've been doing a lot of knitting on sweaters, 2 sweaters. I saw this sweater on 2 podcasts. I first saw it on the Woolen Homestead with Tiffany, and she is making this, and her color choices were just gorgeous. And after that, I'm like, you know what? I have so much pink yarn in my stash. It would be really cool to do this. So the idea is it's kind of a fade. It's 2 strands of fingering weight yarn held together. And I saw it on Woolen Homestead. Then I also saw it on the Rose Opal Knits podcast with Erica. Erica has one of these going as well. But this is all going to be from Stash Yarn. So the first color I started with is by Lumberjack Yarn. Hi, Danny, if you're watching. Oh, a little aside here. Well, yep, I went to Michigan last week. That's the reason I was not podcasting, and I got to meet Danny of Lumberjack Yarn. So that was really fun. So the first one is hers, and then the second color is, let me see, I wrote this down. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's, I will hold it, Avani. I'll just hold that up. And I can't really read the color. It's coral something. Yeah, but I cannot quite make out what the colorway name is, but it's a corally pink. And so that is the second color that I'm using for the sweater. I am really close to dividing for the sleeves. I believe I am about 4 rows away from the sleeve divide. So that'll be happening. And I'd like to share the other colors that will be coming. So the next color, like I said, two held together, and you, with the fade, you use one of the previous colors too. But this one coming up next is Porter Wool Company in the paper Valentine. No, it's not. No, it's not. Is it? Yes, it is. Sorry about that. Porter Wool Company in the paper Valentine colorway. So let's see if I can do this. So that will be fading in. That will be fading in next. And then the other colors I have chosen, I'm not gonna be able to hold everything up, but so this will go into this. This is Pop Rocks by Adeline Rose. This is the colorway BFF by Porter Wool Company. These are all fingering weight yarns, which I will be holding together. And then ending with Hooker's Corner, Bless Your Heart. So those are the beautiful pinks that I am using. I'm so excited to use all of these yarns from Stash. So yeah, when I get that sweater done, that will be several skeins of fingering out of my stash, which will be so cool. And I'm really enjoying this sweater. If this one goes really well, I could see myself making another one, kind of picking from stash and figuring out, you know, different colors that might go together. But, you know, my pink loving heart is absolutely loving this, loving this sweater. So yeah, I think that's going to be really, really fun. Very Carla colors. So those are my works in progress for now. Let's see. Since my last podcast was in April, I thought I would just briefly share my April stats for yarn in, yarn out. And I just keep it in this little kind of yarn calendar I got from someone on Etsy. If I remember, I'll link it down below. It's got just a calendar in here. Let's see. So in April, the skeins that went out of my stash, one for the Shire dishcloth. I had 2 for the moon dance hat that I made. That was the beaded hat. 1 for the Simplistic Beauty shawl. That was the pink shawl that I test knit. 2 for the Kaisa tee. That was the peach speckled sweater that I wore last time. And then the Obata socks. So that was 7 skeins out. Is that right? Yes, 7 skeins out. And then skeins in was more this time. It was 13. So I did not do as well in April. So there was 1 in for the Shire dishcloth, and then 4 of the Barocco remix for the Directo sweater that I'm making. And then I've got 6 of that bright pinkish. Oh, I'll just pull it down. Oh, for another sweater that I would like to make. So I got 6 of those. So 2 sweater quantities. And then 1 slub yarn for my Flutter wrap shawl. And then I have, oh, I didn't show this before. It's a DK hat weight, a DK set to make a hat. So 13 skeins in, 7 out. So that was not as good. So March and April were definitely not good. May not be better. Especially because I'm working on these bigger projects and I don't think I will finish, well, obviously I won't finish 2 sweaters and a shawl by the end of May. That would really be amazing if I could, but yeah, I don't even know if I can get that Directo sweater. I would love to have that done. I would absolutely love it. So it's the 20th, so there's still certainly time, so we'll see, but yeah, I may not get as much out this month because I'm working on, you know, fingering weight projects ish. So so we'll see, but I am still using my stash. I'm still loving my stash, but you know, I love yarn, and so there's some pretty things that have come in the mail. So I'm going to share a couple of those with you now. So I watched the Night Owl Fibers podcast. So hi to Brenda and Rachel if you might be watching. That's a podcast of mother and daughter, and Rachel is the yarn dyer of Night Owl Fibers. Yeah, yarn. And she has beautiful self-striping colorways. And she recently made 2 based on the show Poldark. And that is a show that I have watched at least 2 times, if not 3 times, all the way through. And I absolutely love it. It's another historical drama, and it takes place in Cornwall. And so she made these 2 self-striping yarns based on that area. And so this is called Cornwall Cove. And I just think that's really pretty. The teals and the dusty, plummy, light plummy, pinky colors and tans. So I see water, I see sand, I see maybe, you know, the colors of the skies at sunset. It's absolutely beautiful. And then this one, also Poldark, is the Moors of Cornwall. So some lovely, lovely greens and blues in there, and light taupes and grays. So I'm really excited about these. So one of these may be one of my summer sock camp cast-ons. Really excited about those. And anything that, yeah, I'm a sucker for anything that's kind of themed yarn. So Poldark is one of my very, very favorite shows. So I really love these colors. And then one more skein of yarn. This is by Chicken Lady Fiber Arts, and this colorway is based on the Friday Night Knitting Club, which is a book that I have read numerous times by Kate Jacobs. Absolutely love that. It's a 3-book series, but the Friday Night Knitting Club is the name of the first one. And so that was based on the cover. There's yarn on the cover of that book. And I meant to grab the book to bring in here with me, but I forgot. And so this is a DK weight yarn. The other was fingering weight. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. But this is a DK weight sock yarn. So it's 75-25 with the superwash merino wool and nylon. So this is also something I could see myself casting on in the near future as well. So really excited about those. So I think I will just go into some chatter. So it has been some time since I podcast last, and it definitely wasn't my intention, but I found a good good ticket price, I guess, for airfare to Michigan, and so Jeff gave me my plane ticket for Mother's Day. So I guess going back to, yeah, this is going back earlier. School is out for us and for Jenna, so we are on summer break, all of us. Mother's Day happened, so Jeff gave me the plane ticket for Mother's Day. And I'll just share a little bit else about Mother's Day, because this is yarn related. My son Aaron gave me this watch, which has a crochet hook, scissors, and little skeins of yarn. And I believe he found this on Amazon. This is Whimsical Gifts. And they actually have their own website, but I'm pretty sure he said Amazon, whimsicalgifts.com. So I thought that was really fun. He's always thinking of his mom with her with her yarn. And then his fiance Kelsey gifted me these cute apron earrings. And you don't know this about me because you know, you don't see me wearing aprons, but most of the time I am wearing an apron around the house. And yeah, it's the full, you know, full apron. I've just gotten the habit of doing that for so many years. So these earrings were just absolutely perfect and so sweet for me. Yeah, my family has teased before that, you know, sometime I'm going to run out of the house, you know, and drive away somewhere wearing my apron. And that may happen. I certainly have run out to our mailbox in my apron. And several years ago, our neighbor across the street, she brought over and gifted me an apron because she knew how much I liked aprons. So she found one and bought one for me too. And I've gotten them from other friends, you know, throughout the years. So I really do enjoy wearing aprons. All right. So then Mother's Day, and Jeff gifted me the ticket. So I went to Michigan last week, which was wonderful. Some of you know, if you've been watching a long time, I grew up in Michigan. I was born in Michigan, and I actually lived there till I was almost 30. So my heart still kind of belongs in Michigan, even though I've lived here in Nebraska 20 years. Yeah, a big part of me still has ties to Michigan, and that's where my parents live. And I have one sister and one brother who live in Michigan also. So I got to visit, excuse me, I stayed with my parents, and I got to see my sister a couple times. And then I told you earlier, Danny, who is Lumberjack Yarns on Instagram, she lives in the area where I was. Where we met was about 20 minutes from my parents. And so we met at a coffee shop that is one of her favorite places. And we knit and just chatted away a morning, and it was so much fun. So again, hi Danny if you're watching, and it was so nice meeting you in person. So yeah, it was great. It was great getting together with another knitter. Just so much fun. We got our sailboat in the water 2 days ago. This was kind of an ordeal. So some of you know, we have a sailboat. My husband loves to sail. He grew up sailing, and you might be wondering, where in the world in Nebraska do you sail? But there is a man-made lake not too far from us. It's about 25 minutes from us where we keep our boat. So we tried to launch the boat, or, you know, we have to rig the boat. There's a lot to go into actually rigging your boat before you can put it in the water. We tried to do that before I left for Michigan, and the mast came crashing down. It was too windy of a day, and so it snapped. So we had to put the boat back together, or just kind of take everything apart and bring the boat back home. Jeff fixed that while I was gone, and then 2 days ago we did bring it to the lake, and we were able to put the whole thing up. Couple of hiccups along the way, but the boat is finally in the water, so we're very grateful for that, and looking forward to some nice sailing time this summer. Yesterday was my oldest son Aaron's birthday, so we celebrated that, and our other son Ryan came home. We had dinner for him. We played dinner and dessert. We played cornhole, so it was a really nice time. So I think that catches you guys up onto what I've been up to. I don't know if you can hear it, but I have been sick for a while now. My allergies were really acting up, and while I was gone to Michigan, turned into a sinus infection, and then I was back at the doctor this morning to see if they can do more for my sinus infection, because it's just not really improving. So that's what I'm dealing with. I'm sure many of you might be dealing with seasonal allergies too. So not fun right now, but that's okay. I really hope that all of you have been well and have been enjoying some good knitting or crocheting time. And if you would like to enter into the 50th episode giveaway, please comment down below. Really, anything is fine for a comment. I do appreciate every single one of you who has made this podcast possible. I wouldn't be here if you weren't all coming back, so thank you so much to all of you. I just really appreciate it. It's really fun for me to be able to share all of my love of knitting and yarn with you all, so thank you so much. With that, I will stop for now, and hopefully I plan to be back in 2 weeks, not such a long break. So I wish you a good couple of weeks. Happy crafting and knitting and crocheting, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.